Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. David of UCS Advisors. We will help you achieve your greatness. I am honored today to have Luis Contreras of UON here today, joining me to learn more about his company. Luis, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dr. David, for having me. Truly a pleasure.
You got it, man. You know what? Let's just jump right into this. So tell us, in a nutshell, what is UON?
Thank you. UON is a social media app that focuses on the human connection. We do that harnessing augmented reality, but with what you already have in your hand. See, most apps right now are really good at providing just content, but we believe that what's missing is that human connection. We see the loneliness epidemic rise, and UON is positioned to just help people connect, whether it's networking, finding a match, finding a friend. You walk into a room right now, and we're the only apps that actually help you connect in real time. Not swiping, not too much information sharing, just people looking to connect. And as easy as you were to hold up a cup and say, hey, look, I'm available, or hold up a name badge, right, to say, here, I'm the network. Well, you just turn on your status with UON, and we do the rest.
So, how did this idea come about?
So it's funny. The idea came about years ago. I was back on the single scene, right? And a lot of my friends weren't. And having to do that with the options that were available at the time, and even back then, it was eHarmony, Facebook, and everything that was available to me hasn't really changed. And I was thinking to myself, is like, how is it that so much time has passed? There's so many different variations of the same thing, but there's nothing to help me. Not like a wig band, but just a way to find a community. I mean, there is meetup apps, right? But the problem is that these meetup apps, it's a good way to get you to a place, but there's no way to connect you when you're there. And if you're somebody that's throwing an event, you're at the you have to find a venue. You have to have your members isolated because people don't know, and because of this, right? You need to have a host. It makes it very hard for people to have multiple options. You know, a lot of the times that we find that a lot of these meetups happen 30 to 40 minutes away, and that's like the closest things to a lot of people. The probability of you continuing to have those conversations, if it's outside of networking, is very slim. So we see that with UON. It's connecting you to the community that's already around you, having you walk into a room and then feel a sense of community.
Louise, I'm going to take a step further. As someone that has clients in 33 states and 9 countries, I go to a lot of networking events, especially these meetup events. And I joke around because my meetup events in different parts of New England, there's no signs, there's no host. And you're like, who am I meeting here? Who's actually part of this? And you don't know. So I really like the fact that you're saying, hey, now you can turn on the app.
You know, the amazing part is actually being out, boots on the ground, talking to people as we're now starting to roll this out and throwing these events. We find that the hardest time that people have is like knowing where to meet. I mean, we meet people all the time that are at lounges, coffee shops. They're like, we just don't know where to meet people. And they have that avenue, people that want to meet them, but it's not always that you want to meet somebody with the same options you have, right? People, like they say that there's a study and people don't have that third place to meet people because people don't shop as much as they used to. People don't go out as much as they used to. So going out into the real world, people just want to be pointed in the right direction. And then when you get there, make it as easy as just being able to turn on your status. And that's what we find. It's like, imagine walking up to a group of girls or a group of guys to try to find out if somebody's available. Right now, that's the anxiety that you would get just having to do it. People do it. It's very hard. But for those that are introvert that have a hard time and they still want to be a part of these events, we give them an avenue. Like, I can't tell you how many times we've gone to like a singles event and there's somebody that's sitting on the outside of that that's just afraid to walk in, and nobody knows that they're there for that, right? And this is what we do, is giving people that bridge, that link, that missing piece to just give you that comfortable feeling with everything you already have in your hand now.
So it's really interesting what UON's doing right now and how you're really bringing together both people in a personal way and also in a professional business networking way. And you're really attacking the problem about loneliness. So tell us a little bit about your background, like, because this is a little diverse what UON is doing. So tell us about you, Louise.
Yeah, my background has always been customer centric. I pride myself on being able to always connect with people and guide them throughout experiences. So the sales aspect of it, the marketing side, my career has always been in that path. And now that, you know, I'm building this company, the branding and being able to, because I've attended so many of these events myself in the networking space, we see a lot of opportunity right now as far as, the space and timing of after COVID, how hard it's been for people to reconnect, and how this generation is so comfortable using technology, and how we could just have what's already in their hand. And we see this, augmented reality glass world coming, and we just want to position ourselves.
And I appreciate you sharing that, because there is a major problem about loneliness, and amazing since post COVID how much in the professional setting loneliness has actually increased over time. So let's get back to you on here. Can you describe to our audience some core features and functionalities of the UON app?
So some of the core features that I really enjoy is the fact that you're going to have multiple options when it comes to status sharing. And the way that we do it is we harness augmented reality with the technology you already have in the phone, being able to see multiple users. And it's just as easy as looking through your camera, but if you want to participate, it's as easy as just turning on your status and leaving the phone in front of you. And I think, being able to go through our social media, you have a personalized experience. Think about the food influencer that likes to go to a lot of like street vendors, that likes to go to carnivals. You could build an experience within an experience. Go to Disneyland and guide them through, oh, you know what, I was at this popcorn stand, I was at this turkey leg stand, and I love turkey legs. But it's that's what makes it so unique, to be able to put exactly where on the trail you were. And then at the same time use that platform like we're using for this upcoming soccer tournament, and that we're super excited about. But we're mapping out the field using these augmented pins, putting them in categories so that parents could easily find which field their kid are going to be playing on. There is over 200 games that are going to be played through Saturday and Sunday, and UON is going to be helping those parents. Again, we're more than a dating app. We're a connection app, and connecting you to real-time events, and I think that's what it's very unique about UON, helping you, guide you through an experience like a tournament, or helping you network through a weekend of experiences.
What are two or three really core functionalities of the UON app?
And the other unique part is, you could really coordinate like a convention center and put exactly where each vendor is going to be and guide them, right? Or you could do this on a soccer field aspect of it, and you have one big field, and now, because of the youth side of it, that field is split into threes, and because we're dropping these augmented pins, you could guide them to where exactly that field's going to be. You could guide them to where exactly that vendor is going to be within your space, and save those augmented pins and just kind of update the pictures. But it's as easy as putting up an Instagram post.
So let me ask you this then. We talked offline, and something we talked about offline is about the distance. So what is it, like 45 or 100 feet, or how does that distance work really quick?
When it comes to the social status sharing, it's always going to be within about 45 feet. That's enough to get you coverage throughout a whole room. One, so it doesn't make it complicated, but two, for the security aspect of it. A lot of users like that because they say, well, what about if I leave my status on? One, it disengages pretty quick, but just while you're there, you also know that, people are not going to be finding you from like a mile away. The other aspect of it is that we don't really share a lot of information. It's just your status. We think that that's the best way. There's already so much information out there, and you could get lost in the information. I think that's what a lot of people do now. They get lost in the information while they're swiping. With us, you're only going to be sharing your status, whether you're in finance, whether you're 6'5", sorry, whether you're single, whether you're looking for your matches only. It's always about the status, and people have to get to know you in order to get the rest of the information. And then you can share your profile through the UON app.
And that's something it seems very that differentiates UON from other apps, and whether it's personal or professional, it seems like UON has some maybe overlapping synergies with other apps. But what makes the UON app different compared to other apps that are out there?
I think what separates UON is the fact where most apps separate you from the experience that you're going to be at. UON connects you. And even with other meetup apps that we see now where they're trying to get you to the place, a lot of the commentary that we hear because we go to these events is like, I just don't know anybody that's a part of it. So what's the difference between me just walking into a room or me walking into a room through the meetup app? where I still don't know who's a part of it. And I think UON guides you through the rest of the experience and connects you. Like, how nice would it be to just know that you could be instantly connected to community no matter where you walk through. Just looking at your screen and then seeing the first, icons appear, knowing that there's other people around you, and you just don't feel so alone. And I think that's what separates UON. Instead of disconnecting you and you using that social media to kind of disengage and be lost for half an hour, you're using it to connect with everything that's around you. And then once you're there, we guide you through that experience, giving whoever's throwing the event or whoever's profile it is the ability to really build this unique experience. And I think that's what's kind of missing.
So let's take this to the next level then, because people are always about user security, all right?
Yeah.
And people's, security, and they don't want to get hacked, so forth and so on. So how does the UON app actually ensure user security?
Yeah, when it comes to security, privacy and security has always been at the forefront for us, a team dedicated for the cybersecurity portion of it. But then when we're building this, it's like, how can we make you a part of an event, a part of an experience, but then not overshare? And the way that we do it is by just giving off the status. Everything else that's going to be needed after that initial contact is going to be given through the user, being able to share my profile, being able to add you as a friend. So that is so that we could chat. That is still going to require for you to go to that next stage. And I think that's what's necessary, is that everything starts off with, how can we protect you, the user, when you go out? And I think if I look at my own personal experience, if I want to be a part of something, I want to let people know I'm a part of it. I just don't want my name and picture and profile for people to be like looking over while we're at the same event. That stuff I think you could get from me, and I think people, one, you could get lost in the information, but two, you don't want too much of your information out there, right? So when you're doing the status sharing, it's always going to be just your status. The rest of it is going to require for them to give you a handshake and a conversation, and then you can go from there.
So, Luis, I really like the fact that the way you have made the UON app, it's about enhancing and encouraging human interaction, both professionally and personally. And I don't really have to give any personal information about myself, which is great compared to all these dating apps or all these online professional apps. So let me ask you this. Is UON available right now to people here in the US?
Yeah, we're definitely available on the App Store. We're actually throwing a lot of these live events, so make sure you follow us on Instagram or on TikTok to see the upcoming stuff that we have. And then on the Android side, we are available. So we're available in the U.S. and plenty other markets. I think only in like Russia is where we weren't allowed to be on there. But as far as everywhere else, we are available. And then as far as the Play Store, we are on the Android side of it, but we're still working through some updates. They're a little bit behind, but they're almost there.
With the events that you've done so far, and with the people that have used the app so far, what kind of feedback have you received?
Yeah, no, you know what? It's been really positive. Everybody who went to the first event is like saying, look, let me know exactly when you're having the next one. So I told them to just like be on the lookout. The app is going to let you know when the next social events happen. And one of the main things that we're seeing is that people like the fact that it doesn't overshare. They like the way that we built it. A lot of the questions and concerns that they had, especially with something with live events, it's kind of been answered. And then, knowing that we work with people that are already going to be going to these networking events and have these name badges, they just like the alternative it provides for them to meet people more locally.
Something that we ask everyone here about any company that they're talking about is, I got to ask you, is the company fully capitalized, or are you still seeking additional capital at this moment?
Yeah, we're actually in the process of raising capital now. We had a family and friend round that initially helped us as we were building, but now as we're starting to expand more, we're starting to raise capital and starting to look at from every aspect, angel investors to VCs.
With that being said, you're still looking to raise capital. Is the capital going to be used for marketing? Is it going to be used for employees? Is it going to be used for further updated versions, or a mix and match of things?
Yeah, we've built this method of being able to attract users by being able to have boots on the ground at all these live events that are currently happening now. So we think that we have this formula so that funding would go to having teams that are going to follow this formula in every major city, along with the marketing campaign that we're going to continue to build. The development side, it's crucial to have, more support as we're continuing to build, and some of the other concepts and ideas that we have that we're looking forward to do, it would be nice to have an additional team to bring those out to the market a lot quicker. So that's what the aspect's going to be used for. Right now, we'll definitely stay away from being able to have a hub, but it's more boots on the ground development in the key features that we want to align ourselves with. And then from that standpoint, the marketing push is going to be so heavy, especially now that we're going into the summer.
Something we talked about offline was about the legacy that you hope UON will leave, not only in the technology industry, but also in the individual users. So tell our audience, what is the legacy that you hope UON will leave, not only in the technology industry, but also in people's lives as users?
Our goal is to bring back the human connection. Just if we're looking at the legacy aspect of it, is all this technology has always been used to kind of like pull us away. Wouldn't it be nice if UON is going to be the name that is going to be known to bring people together? And in a world that kind of feels so cold at time, and with the loneliness epidemic, and people feeling like you can have all these followers, but there's something else that's missing. It's always been like a sense of community that people have been, longing for. And I think there's so many people out there looking for the same thing, and they start joining clubs because of it. But you don't want to go outside of who you are in order to do that. And with UON, it's giving people the avenue, whether it's somebody who's trying to throw an event, they're great at networking and they have this aspiration to do it, but they just don't have the funds to get started. We give them a whole new avenue there. And then for the people that are just looking to make a friend, to network or to connect in other ways, you have that possibility with everything that's already in your hand. And as augmented reality is going to be making more of a push, from Apple and Meta and all that, we would like to be at the forefront between this augmented, glasses and being able to connect and bridge people with what they already have in their hand now.
I appreciate you sharing that. And before we end today, is there any other information that you feel that is left out that our listeners should know about you and/or UON?
If you like what we're building and you like what you heard today and you want to be a part of it, whether you have an event that you want to coordinate, you want to bring singles together, look, we'll be more than happy to work with you. We're already going to go and work with so many different individual coordinators. Let's bridge the connection together, and UON would love to be that platform for you. If you're looking to invest in something like this, hey, reach out to us. If you just want to just follow the path of what we're doing, follow us on UON social, on TikTok, UON mobile app, on Instagram. Also, before I forget, spread the word. You got a single person that's looking to meet people, the area, spread the word. If you're want to join us with the content creators, we're always looking for those. And yeah, we're excited for what we have going on.
And let's just take it another step further. For once again, reiterating to all our listeners and viewers is that the UON app is both for professional networking, professional meetups, but also for personal as well too. And also to take another step further, it's about that community. Like you just mentioned, hey, you're going to a soccer tournament, there's 20 fields, where's everyone going to be? And it's kind of nice to sit here and to really work in that community together. With that being said, Luis, congratulations on all the success so far. We wish you nothing but the best of luck and continued success. I'm Dr. David of UCS Advisors. We'll help you achieve your greatness. Thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, David.